बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। गोपीचन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। गोपीचन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा श्रील गुरुदेवा। जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव। जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव। जय जय श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय। जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय। गौर निताई की जय। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित पावन श्रीपाद महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततोर्जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Sanatan Prabhu, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Actually, this my mic is having some issues here. I'm not able to hear you actually.
Yeah, it is clear for us.
Can you speak now?
It is clear for us. Your voice is very much clear.
Okay. Thank you. So today we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 2, Text 58. Shri Hiranyakashipu Uvacha Bal Evam Pravadati Sarve Vismita Chetasaha Yatayo Menire Sarvam Anityam Ayatho Utthitam. Shri Hiranyakashipuruvacha Bal evam pravadati sarve vismita chetasaha Gyatayo menire sarvam anityam ayatho utthitam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Hiranyakashipu said, while Yamaraj, in the form of a small boy, was instructing all the relatives surrounding the dead body of Suyagya. Everyone was struck with wonder by his philosophical words. They could understand that everything material is temporary, not continuing to exist. Purport. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2:18. Antavanta ima deha nitya syuktaha shariranaha. The body is perishable, but the soul within the body is imperishable. Therefore, the duty of those advanced in knowledge in human society is to study the constitutional position of the imperishable soul and not waste the valuable time of human life in merely maintaining the body and not considering life's real responsibility. Every human being should try to understand how the spirit soul can be happy and where he can attain an eternal blissful life of knowledge. Human beings are meant to study these subject matters, not to be absorbed in caring for the temporary body, which is sure to change. No one knows whether he will receive a human body again. There is no guarantee, for according to one's work, one may get any body from that of a demigod to that of a dog. In this regard, Srila Madhvacharya comments, Aham mam abhimanadi tva yathottam anityakam mahadadi yath uttam cha nityachapi yath uttita. Aswatantraiva aswatan aswatantraiva prakritihi swatantro nitya eva cha yathartha bhutascha para eka eva janardhana. Only Janardhan, the supreme personality of Godhead, is ever existing, but his creation, the material world, is temporary. Therefore, everyone who is captivated by the material energy and absorbed in thinking, I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine, is an illusion. Okay, is an illusion. One should think only of being eternally a part of Janardhan, and one's endeavor in this material world, especially in this human form of life, should be to attain the association of Janardhan by going back home, back to Godhead. Mama Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjan Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Sarupudamodar Swaminiti Namine Nama Sadbhakta Manaya Mani Purudbhavaya Cha Prabhupadla Sadvani Prachar Niritayate Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I offer my most humble obeisances to Guru Maharaj, all Acharya Varga, then to this august audience, Maharajis, all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, everyone in this audience, please bless me. So, everyone was struck with wonder by his philosophical words, they could understand that everything material is temporary, not continuing to exist. So hearing the words of Yamraj, who came in the form of a small boy. Actually, there is a fact here to be shared. When one is extremely pious and when he leaves the body, then Yamdutas don't come there. Yamraj himself comes. But if a devotee is leaving the body, then Vishnu Dutas come. Even Yamraj also does not come. And when an impious living entity leaves, then Yamdutas come. So here Yamraj came and he assumed the form of a boy so that he could evoke some sense of, belongingness, mamta in the hearts of those wailing queens. They were wailing so very piteously and so loudly. So he could evoke some kind of a place in their heart, first of all, in their heart, so that they could heed to his instructions or his teachings. And then Yamraji is speaking. And in this way, Yamraji is acting like a guru, even though he's a small boy. And all the queens, their illusion was shedded. And they could understand that this word is anitya. Anitya means this word is temporary, but it is not mithya. So it is not an illusion. So therefore, what is illusion actually? What is mithya? Mithya is this, Srila Prabhupada ji has translated, he has written in the purport. Therefore, everyone who is captivated by the material energy and absorbed in thinking, I am this body and everything belonging to this body is mine, is in illusion. So this is an illusion. When Jivatma, he identifies himself with this body, and then on account of profusion of mamta, mamta means mine, this is mine, this body is mine, this everything is mine. So this mamta is the illusion. The body itself is not an illusion. Identifying with the body is the illusion, mithya. Right? For example, in a game, there are characters. The game and characters, they are not illusion. But the identification, that identity crisis, the identification with the character, when one gets so much involved with a character in the game while he's playing, that characterization, that superimposition of a temporary character over himself, the gamer, that is the illusion. That avidya is illusion. So give me 1 second, please. Yeah, so that avidya is illusion. Mithya means this is not a true fact. Our identifying with the body is not a true fact. So therefore, this shloka is there, that 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is named as Purushottam Yoga. That chapter is very important. Shloka is Urdu Moolam Adha Shakham Ashwattam Prahur Avyayam. Chandansi yas paranani yastam vedasa vedvit. Yattam vedasa vedvit. Urdu Moolam Adha Shakham. So Ashwattham means There is one more meaning of Ashwattham actually means a banyan tree, Aswatha, banyan tree. And this banyan tree is Urdhmulam, means the roots are upwards, branches, twigs, and all those things that are downwards, right? Ashwattham, means not, Swa means tomorrow. So something which is not existing tomorrow, which is not going to exist tomorrow. So by using this word Ashwattham, Lord has defeated two philosophies at the same time. Bhautikvadi and second is Shunyavadi or Nirvisheshvadi, Shunyavadi rather, who say that this Jagat is Mithya. So Bhautiktavadi means extremely materialistic people who think that this world is eternal. All of us, right? Our situation is like that of a fish in a big ocean. If you ask the fish that, do you know what water is? The fish won't be able to tell. It is in the water. It is in the water. It is so much in the water. So there is this quote by, uh, just let me go there. This quote is by Marshall McLuhan. He says that we are not sure who discovered water, but we are pretty sure it wasn't the fish. So fish never discovers the water. It's oblivion. It's obliviousness. The water becomes oblivious to the fish. And the fish does not know that there are two things here to be deduced, that ocean also is temporary. So it is like kind of identifying its existence in connection with the ocean. In fact, it does not know what an ocean is. So therefore, that is one thing. Second is, we are so eternally existing. We are eternally existing, right? So our existence is our very constitutional one flavor, that we exist, right? Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha. So there was never a time when we did not exist, and there will never come a time when we cease to exist. This existence is our very fundamental one ontological quality. In fact, ontology deals with existence. So this existence is so we are immersed in existence that like the fish, we don't like, we are so oblivious of our permanent existence, and rather we identify ourselves with this temporal world. So these materialistic people who say that this world is eternal, for them Krishna says aswa, tomorrow it does not exist. Tomorrow it will not exist. So this word is not eternal, right? And then Shunyavadi people, they say that it is not existing even. It is not existing, it is mithya. So Bhagwan says, but tomorrow it will not exist, but today it is existing. Swa means tomorrow. Ashwattham means tomorrow it will not exist. So Bhagwan is saying, well, tomorrow it will not exist, but today it is existing. So in this way, Shunyavad is also defeated. Mithyavad, or these Mayavadi people, The idea is that this word itself is not real, not unreal. This is temporary. The material energy is the energy of Krishna. Krishna is real, so his energy also has to be real. Material energy में अष्टधा, earth, water, fire, air and ether. These five bhutas, five gross elements are there. And then there are three subtle elements are there: mind, intelligence, and false ego. We have got this gross body and the subtle body. The gross body, when we are in so-called awakened state, we can see the gross body and we act through the gross body, and we see the world around us. But when we are sleeping and dream, so that dream is a product of Sukshma Sharir, mind, thoughts. Paramatma is showing us a dream. Since Sukshma Sharir is not unreal, the dream being the product of that Sukshma Sharir and being facilitated by Paramatma, can we say the dream is unreal? The dream also is not unreal. Therefore, the perceptions, the various perceptions we are having when we wake, when we are awakened, when we are awake, then we are having certain perceptions which are I think last Sunday I was talking about that, right? Which are kind of received. Those perceptions are grabbed by our gross senses, then they are translated and transcribed, rather translated by the subtle senses, and the subtle senses then subtle senses are the functionalities of mind, and then it are received by through the agency of Paramatma by finally to the soul, who is acting as a secondary observer, and finally he ends up observing these things around him. In the sleeping state, in the dreaming state, Paramatma is, the gross sensations, they are cut, but the mind is still active. Mind with its subtle senses, with its set of subtle senses, it is active, and the perceptions through those senses, right, they are once again felt by the dreaming Jivatma. So those perceptions cannot be unreal. Therefore, dream is not unreal. Dream is, right? So therefore, but it is anitya. Identifying with a character in the dream is mithya. So that is mithya. And the interesting fact is, even when we are awake, we identifying ourselves with the gross body is also mithya. But the gross body and the dream body, they are not mithya. They are anitya. Are you understanding? Those anitya. So in a dream, when we dream, we cannot say when our dream started and when it is going to finish, because we are in that state. We cannot ascribe a time our dream started at this particular time, it will end this particular time. We are in a dreaming state, right? When we are awake, then we can say, okay, I slept at this time, I lied down in bed at this time, so my dream must have started. That very dreamy state, right, suptavastha, it must have started at this time and it has definitely ended now. So similarly, we are in this material world, material existence, and identifying ourselves with this material existence. So since time immemorial, when we say, we cannot tell that when we came here or when we will leave. Actually, we are eternally here in terms of material calculations. This dream of ours, right? This dream, uh, even when we are awake, this dream situation, though it is not mithya, dear devotees, it is eternally, we are eternally here in this dreaming state. So therefore the queens, they could realize that the queens could realize that this world is actually temporary and that it will disappear just as it arose, right? So anitya means just like we have the body, right? We have this body. We know that my body was, I can fix a time. Okay, my body was born in this. My birth date is 15 Feb 1978. So you subtract, take 9 months before this date. So when my mother conceived, so we can say, okay, that could be called as kind of one initial time of this body. Actually, even that is not the initial time of this body, because that body is gone. Embryo body, where is the embryo body? Where is the zygote body, embryo body, then infant body? They are all gone. And this body will also go. But because we are so much immersed in the pool of eternity as well as in the pool of this identity crisis, that we think that we are this body. So we ascribe a kind of a birth date. Birthday, we celebrate birthday. So like how I can ascribe a initial time for our body, it came out of nowhere, right? Now similarly it will perish also into that nowhere. Actually there is nothing called as nowhere, but just to, like how it arose, it will disappear just as it arose. So Ashwatha means not tomorrow. So we should definitely, you know, uh, in 40s at least, at 20s or 30s, we are having so much energy, and there are very rarely very fortunate young minds who get this idea that even this at such a tender age, some people, they get an idea that this body is temporary, but many, they are not that fortunate. But in 40s, we should at least now we should get the idea that time is very, very less now, only 20, 30 more years or so. And it will also go like a flash if you are not careful now. I mean, your 40 years, did they not go in flash? The 20 years will also go in flash. It's high time that we, aspirants of bhakti, we should be kind of utilizing each and every moment in thoughts of Guru Maharaj service, and not only thoughts, in actions also. In this temporary world, there is one thing which is permanent, or which is as efficacious as permanent, yeah, and that is devotional activity, bhakti yoga. So bhakti yoga जो है, when we perform bhakti yoga using the assets whichever are being provided by this temporal world, temporary world, all those kriyas and anything utilized in bhakti yoga, they are all nitya actually. So when we perform these nitya activities in this anitya world, then we will be promoted to the nitya world. And secondary benefit will be that our identity crisis will also be resolved. This identity crisis will not be resolved as long as we are not identifying ourselves being the servants of Krishna and acting on that. Self-realization follows Krishna realization. Don't think that first of all we will identify ourselves as a soul and then we'll act on the soul platform. That is not going to help much. Krishna consciousness, Bhakti Yoga cannot wait for any such secondary knowledge. This Vidya, that I am the spiriton and I am different from matter, this Vidya is also not the Nirmal Vidya, Nirguna Vidya. It is not the Nirguna Vidya. Nirmal Vidya is when one actually gets a conviction that he is the Dasanudas of Krishna Das. That is Nirmal Vidya. सोल अब से हमने पता कर लिया सोल है, उसके बाद हमारा कर्तव्य है पता करना कि सोल का कर्तव्य क्या है. Like a doctor, he knows that he's a doctor, but then he does not know how to treat. Just namesake doctor hai wo. So will you like to go to such a doctor? His vidya is not nirmal. The soul must know about its constitutional activities, right? Just saying that I am the soul, I am the spirit soul, that vidya is not going to be of much avail. It is that vidya is also temporary. It is not nitya because it is not nirmal, it is also not nitya. And the testimony is that you must have seen all these people who Brahmavadis who don't subscribe to Bhakti Yoga. Why do they resort to material activities once again? They become politician or this or that. Why? Right? Which means that this vidya is anitya. Anitya means it is their subscription to this vidya is anitya. But devotional activities, this vidya is nitya vidya. Once anyone subscribes to this, even though he wants to leave, he cannot leave. Krishna says, anyone who gets a taste of Bhakti Yoga, even though he wants to leave, he cannot leave. It is not possible. Nirmal Vidya. So in this Anitya word, in this Anitya, though not Mithya, we are supposed to straighten up our identity crisis. We are supposed to resolve our identity crisis and kind of brush it out. This Mithya idea, so that will help us in achieving the Nitya Dham. So this difference between Anitya and Mithya should be very clear, dear devotees. There are many pure devotees, Paramhamsa, who are living in this Anitya world, but there is no crisis in them. In fact, they are so wonderful, they consider this, they don't find any difference between material world and spiritual world. Because in this material world also there are ample opportunities of serving Krishna. Even they are serving Krishna here also. In Golokdham also they will be serving Krishna. So they are so much immersed in the thoughts of service that this evident duality between material world and spiritual world that does not exist for them. All they are looking for and all they do is to serve Krishna, which is very much possible here. And but for us neophyte, we should definitely think of going back to Godhead. Actually, better than going back to Godhead is back to Guru Maharaj, or over to Guru Maharaj, or for Guru Maharaj. So that is a very, very kind of high state of consciousness. Let me see if I have got anything more to share. I think Papaji has already said that is our real duty. Now that we have got this human life, it is our duty, our because we have got this facility. So let us not waste it. Already so much time has been wasted. Okay. Thank you very much for paying attention to my talks, to my talk. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna Broji, thank you very much for this nice talk. Yeah, if anyone is having any question regarding today's talk, they can raise the hand and ask His Grace Srikant Broji.
ये मेरे स्पीकर का हेडफोन का एक ही काम कर रहा है. मैं जरा हेडफोन चेंज कर लेता हूँ.
Hare Krishna Broji.
Okay, now it is better with this. You must definitely be observing some kind of a sound different, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yes, if anyone is having any question regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask His Grace Srikant Broji. Hare Krishna Broji.
हाँ प्रभु.
Yeah, I have a question. So, according to Vedas, what is the definition of knowledge?
What is the definition of knowledge? Kshetra Kshetragya. Understanding the difference between Kshetra and Kshetragya. That is knowledge. Between life and matter. That is knowledge. Understanding the difference between life and matter, and understanding in conclusion the very purpose of both Kshetra and Kshetragya. Life does not come from matter, life comes from life. Life comes from Krishna. Then we build more that I am having life. I am the part and parcel of Krishna. I am supposed to serve Krishna. Right. This is the idea. Kshetra Kshetragya means not just understanding that life comes from life, or I am not the matter. Similarly, Kshetra, the body, even though temporary, the body is supposed to be used for Krishna. It is energy of Krishna. It is supposed to be used for Krishna. I am living in this body. I must use this body in service of Krishna. This is the idea, Kshetra and Kshetragya. When the Kshetragya knows the real utility of his Kshetra, which is nothing else but in conjunction it should be used as in service of Krishna, then that is knowledge. Okay, and then Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has described many he has enumerated many elements. He says that I I declare this as knowledge. And all those things should be used in conjunction with this goal of knowledge. If they are used, to, facilitate or take us to this goal, then they are knowledge. Otherwise, they also should not be knowledge. So therefore, if you read the commentary of Srila Prabhupada ji on that shloka of Bhagavad Gita, do you know where that shloka is? In which chapter? Where Krishna says that I declare. So Prabhupada ji is kind of defining each and every word in conjunction with Krishna actually, and Krishna consciousness. The idea is knowledge cannot be defined without bringing Krishna in the picture. संबंध ज्ञान, संबंध ज्ञान से ही रियल ज्ञान समझना चाहिए. संबंध ज्ञान बहुत प्रिमिटिव ज्ञान. संबंध ज्ञान मीन्स that I as Kshetragya and my body as Kshetra both are related to Krishna, and I must use this body to I must use this body for Krishna. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
One should not understand that just knowing the difference between Kshetra and Kshetragya is knowledge. As long as this difference is not being utilized, this knowledge of difference is not being utilized in service of Krishna, in Sambandh Gyan, we cannot say it is knowledge of Krishna.
Yeah. So, what is the literal meaning of Kshetrajna?
Kshetragya means one who is the observer. Acha, there are two Kshetragyas. Kshetragya means one who knows about this, or one who is little conscious of his Kshetra, owner of the Kshetra, field of actions. Atma, Paramatma. So Atma is the secondary owner. In fact, he is not the owner, but that is also one kind of a gyan that I am not the real owner is someone else. Right. There is a real owner. He is a real owner. And my job is to serve that real owner.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. I have seen our Roshan Prabhu raised the hand. I don't know whether it was already conveyed or not. If so, Roshan Prabhu, please unmute your line if you still have any question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dandot Pranam, Prabhuji, Radhavan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, my question is very simple. Like how superior energy getting influenced by inferior energy? Like soul is a superior energy, but how come it is getting influenced by this inferior energy? Like we know now that something is superior, but it's not influenced by inferior. But here, how that is happening?
Yeah. Well, that is because definitely ontologically the soul is superior energy, because the soul has got consciousness, and the soul can serve Krishna, and soul ontologically it is like that, superior. But the material energy is so very vast and profound that it covers the knowledge of knowledge of Sachidananda, the knowledge of Spiriton. and the spiriton finally heats to this material energy. In any way, the spiriton is always attracted to Krishna. So he is attracted to either superior energy or he becomes attracted to inferior energy. When he becomes attracted to inferior energy, then the material existence commences and he starts. So inferior energy, superior energy should not mean that he will not be affected by the inferior energy. And number two is that even though he is thus affected by material energy, he should not, it should not be understood that he has himself become inferior. He will always be superior. Pretty much like how a sun, sometimes the sun is eclipsed, right? But the sun does not lose its charm, its heat or light. Similarly, the soul also does not lose its charm, ever its superiority. Also, there are two kinds of consciousness. In Tattva Sandarbha, this like how a lamp, the lamp, when you lit a lamp in night, then the lamp has light, and as well as the lamp is light itself. So similarly, the soul is consciousness and soul has consciousness. So that has consciousness is something which is covered by this vast material energy. But the is consciousness, the soul itself, which is made of consciousness, it is intact. It does not lose it. It never loses it. It never becomes one of the material element, right? So therefore, this is one idea. Also, whosoever wants to enjoy like Krishna, whosoever wants to enjoy like Krishna without serving Krishna, for him, this is this could be one plan of Krishna. Let him be subdued by, even though he's superior, let it be subdued by my energy, my material inferior energy for the time being. Krishna has made this material world for these rebellious souls who want to enjoy without Krishna being anywhere close to him. So, so this also could be one plan of Krishna also. Are you getting this idea?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This material energy is very vast, tatastha energy. Who says? In Tattva Sandarbha. Yes, in Tattva Sandarbha only, Jiva Goswami says, and Jaya Dharma Bhaktivinoda Thakurji says, tatastha energy means this, the soul is definitely the superior energy, but it gets subdued by the vast material energy. Its knowledge is limited, unlike Krishna's knowledge.
Vast and variety also.
Yeah, vast varieties have been made by Krishna only, but the vastness of this material energy takes the better of the limitedness of Jiva's knowledge, and the Jiva finally succumbs to that material charm of Krishna. Actually, this material energy is also one charm of Krishna, but not the Swarup charm. So Jiva gets attracted to this side of Krishna, and in this way he is attracted to Krishna only, but not to the Swarup of Krishna, but rather his Maya, his material aspect of Krishna. Okay?
Yeah, means by using the inferior energy also we can purify, we can get connected to Guru Maharaj and Krishna, because ultimately this is also part of Krishna.
Yes.
That's a beauty.
That's the idea. That's the idea of devotional serving, using this energy also. we can, and then there remains no difference between inferior energy and superior energy. Actually, there is no difference between inferior or superior, but भेद is there. भेद है, भेद ये है कि ये मटेरियल एनर्जी है, ये इंफीरियर एनर्जी है, इसमें कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं है, पर्पस नहीं है, और ये सब रस नहीं है। भगवान को रस नहीं देती है। Jiva Goswami says that this material energy, Maya, is like that of a maid servant. And when Vyasadeva ji also had a darshan in Samadhi, he saw that Jiva is standing close to Krishna, but Maya Devi is standing behind. And which means this does not delight Krishna as much as the Jiva. Jiva delights, and Krishna wants to reclaim those Jivas who are eternally like captivated here, incaptivated here.
एक और दिमाग में जस्ट आपने जो कहा तो मेरे दिमाग में कुछ आया कि हर व्यक्ति, हर जो जीव है वो सोशल क्यों है, वो सामाजिक क्यों है? क्योंकि वो सोल के दूसरे ही वांट टू इंटरेक्ट विद अदर सोल, बिकॉज मैटर में उसको मजा नहीं आता, इसलिए वो दूसरे के साथ सामाजिक रूप से व्यवहार बनाता है, एक एसोसिएशन में रहता है सामाजिक। जैसे इंसान को या किसी जानवर, हर जानवर सामाजिक है, क्योंकि सोल दूसरे सोल से वो रस ढूंढना चाहता है, जो कि रस उसको यहाँ पे मैटर में मिलता नहीं है। इसीलिए इस पे कुछ कमेंट आप कीजिए प्रभु।
हाँ, ये सही है। जीव जो है, जीव के साथ ही जीव जो है लाइफ और लाइफ का एक वो है ना, कनेक्शन है। लेकिन ये कनेक्शन भी एक तरह से देखा जाए तो फेक है, क्योंकि जीवा वांट्स टू इमिटेट कृष्णा। जीवा वांट्स टू इमिटेट द अल्टेरियन क्वालिटीज। अल्टेरियन द राइट वर्ड? Let me say Alterian means the chivalrous. Alterian. What is that Alterian? I don't know. Alterian. Some word is there. Alterian. What I mean to say that Krishna is Deen Dayal. Krishna is helping everyone, right? Krishna is giving to everyone. Janardhan or the Bhagwan quality. You know? So Jiva wants to imitate Bhagwan completely. So when he is giving in charity, or when he is helping someone, right? So without bringing Krishna in the picture, he is actually helping this Dayal quality of Krishna. So this is also one kind of identity crisis, and the root reason is he wants to enjoy somehow, one or another way, this quality which only Krishna is entitled for, where Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So he wants to enjoy like that, and so that is the idea. But actually, constitutionally, the soul के सर्विस का एक ही ऑब्जेक्ट है, वो कृष्णा ही है। तत्व से समझे हम अगर उसको तो। All right.
Yeah, तो धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्ण। एक्चुअली में सोल और सोल का, सोल 1 और सोल 2 का भी जो संबंध है, वो जब तक कृष्ण को बीच में नहीं लाएंगे, वो संबंध को भी संबंध नहीं कहा जा सकता है। इसलिए एक सोल का दूसरे सोल के साथ संबंध यही है कि वो एक सोल दूसरे सोल को कृष्ण दे। सोल शुड गिव कृष्णा टू अदर सोल्स। That is the only relation between soul 1 and soul 2. Otherwise, these so-called relations where Krishna is not anywhere, this is also one kind of not a binary relation. The soul is the soul 1. It, for its own rasa, it is trying to build relations with soul 2, soul 3, soul, but actually it is self-obsessed. it is thinking of itself. It wants to enjoy the rasas himself. So I'm not sure what if what I'm trying to convey is clear to you or not, but I hope you are getting the idea. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is very much clear.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, our Govind Maharaj is having something. Yes, Maharaj, please.
Hare Krishna, Srikant Prabhu.
Dhanupranam Maharaj.
Wonderful, very absorbing. Your study is very wonderful, deep, so it's very heartening. I have two questions regarding this. A question regarding what is knowledge, and because sometimes the information or experience or wisdom they get mixed up. So what can be called knowledge? Because if we have knowledge of something, we will definitely act on it. Correct?
Right.
If we have the knowledge of something, and if we don't act, rather go against it, or to do the very opposite of what the knowledge says, that means it's just the information, and we are still illusion. That is one aspect I wanted to elaborate, because one example I want to give, like Bhagavatam says that hitva griham samsati chakravalam. What is that? Griham andhakupam, correct? This household life is griha andhakupam. So how many sadhakas have faith in it, believe it? It's just like would they fall into the andhakupam deliberately? So this is the true message of knowledge comes. Knowledge, it may not be your own experience, but it's the wisdom. If we have absolute faith in the scriptures, if a person is awakened with this knowledge, transcendental knowledge of Bhagavatam, then he will act on it. If one does not act, one can become very scholarly, very good speaker and renowned person, and one cannot protect oneself. You know, like no matter how much tempted we are, just say, example, patanga, it is so tempted to enter the fire, it cannot help itself because it's in ignorance. But when a human being would do that, but he does, in spite of having that information. So can we call it knowledge? So this is first question. Second is regarding you establishing that eternally we have been here in this realm. So could you give some authoritative on that? Because we accept Krishna as the ultimate supreme authority. So based on Krishna's words, can you give some credence to your statement that this material existence, our existence in the material world is beginning there? So, and one comment I have about Roshan Prabhu's question that we will take later. Two questions, can you address?
Here, Maharaj, I'll make an attempt. So this knowledge is realized in acquisition of knowledge. It has got three stages: knowing, understanding, and realizing. So knowing means you just know it, and when you meditate more and more on it, then it gets condensed to understanding. And when you not only meditate but you act also, so then understanding gets condensed to realization. So that realization is the Gyan in the true spirit. So the knowing and understanding, they being the shallow knowledge or the shallow grasping, therefore they cannot be called as truemost Gyan. So this realization is very important, right? So Maharaji has given the example of Andhukupam. But one more example can be given. So with this example, please don't think that I'm like encouraging this nationalism, but we all know that we are Indians, but do we understand it? Very few of us understand that we are Indians, because we know our, we should, who understands that he's Indian, who knows that उसका क्या कर्तव्य है इंडिया के प्रति, और इंडिया का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्या है, और ये सब क्या है. But then does he realize that he's Indian? Very few only they realize they are patriots, you know, they act. And so I don't know whether this example was good or not, but the idea is in this idea of those who also, what essentially is the difference between Jnani, Jnanvan or Mahatma. The Jnani is the one who knows, who wants to know, who knows. Jnanvan is the one who understands, is on level closer to realization. So Krishna says, Astita sahi yuktatma mam evan uttamam gatim. So udarta sarva. Jnani tva atmaeva me matam. I am reading this shloka, 7th chapter, 18th shloka. That Jnani, when he yuktatma, when he engages, Yuktatma, when he engages in devotional service, then that Gyan condenses into realization. What realization? Vasudeva Sarvamiti. For many, many births, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. That is called as Gyanvan. So, in this way, we can understand this, this realized knowledge is the actual knowledge. We should get a hang of it with the chit element of ours. That knowledge should shine in our chit, not just in our intellect or in our theory, or no, that knowledge is not going to be of much use. Or shall I say, Vigyan, the realized knowledge, is a true Gyan. Maharaji, do you see, does Your Holiness see any flaw here?
Well, the confusion will remain, because we have to accept Krishna's statement as the ultimate authority. And otherwise, if we value somebody as Jnani, which does not even help himself, that's why Krishna calls only a devotee Jnani. Everybody else is a Jnani. Anyone in the mode of even goodness, even so-called Kaivalya Jnana, you know, Krishna is not calling him Jnanvan. Tesham Jnani Nitya Yuktam Eka Bhaktir Visheshyate. Priyo hi Jnani non-nyartham aham sache mama priya. So this priyata is involved, na? जो भगवान को प्रिय बनाता है एकांतिक, वही ज्ञानी है भगवान की डेफिनेशन. क्योंकि ज्ञान मीन्स एक्सपीरियंस, एंड अल्टीमेटली नॉलेज इज मेंट टू लिबरेट यू. ज्ञान का जो कॉनोटेशन है, इट इज मेंट टू लिबरेट अस फ्रॉम दिस मटेरियल क्लचेस, एंड that devotion to Krishna alone will. So anybody may be very knowledgeable, analytical, without attaching to Krishna, he cannot be called Jnani from Krishna's viewpoint. Bahunam janmanam ante, तो बहुत जन्म कौन लेता है? ज्ञानवान लेता है क्या जन्म? ज्ञानवान नहीं लेता जन्म. बहुत जन्मों के बाद में जब व्यक्ति ज्ञानवान होता है तब मेरे शरणागत. So one who surrenders to Krishna, one who attaches his consciousness to Krishna, he alone is a Jnani in Krishna's definition. इसलिए Krishna describes to Uddhava so-called Jnana on the 4 categories. The Jnana means experience in the mode of ignorance, you know, engrossed in the matter and sense gratification. That is also Jnana. पशु को भी ज्ञान है ना कि ये बहुत स्वादिष्ट है, ये अच्छा है, बुरा है. You know, this is the experience. But engrossed only in matter. Rajo vaikalpikam chayat. Hamesha sanshaya. Human being is not satisfied at any situation in his life. You know, always looking for option, more options, not settled with one. One goes for 2, 3, whatever, you know. So this experience of always trying to promote oneself or look for better, that is also an experience, but it is not helping him, it is engrossing him. And then again, the knowledge, kaivalyam satvikam jnanam. Krishna says that even the separation of matter and spirit, this understanding, naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam, because it is disconnected from Krishna, even that knowledge. Na shobhate jnanam alam niranjanam. Alam means not sufficiently. So Krishna is not, Bhagavatam is not appreciating just merely this Atma Gyan, as you said, that without connection to Krishna, even the relationship between one soul to another soul, what they can help, we all are meant to realize that we possess Krishna as much as Krishna possesses us. Krishna has agreed to stay in our heart, and the heart is with us. We possess Krishna, and that's a very wonderful feeling. We are Atmavan. We possess Atma, the original Atma Krishna. So, knowledge. And so my question is that we as sadhakas, our parents, and when they are very eager to get their son or daughter married, of course, daughter is fine, but even they think they accomplish something very wonderful by putting their son into Griha Andakupam. Don't we see in our society all around? So how can we call something knowledge? Which and would I fall if I know that this is a dark well, deep dark well? Literally. So Bhagavatam is giving this message how it registers in our system. It's a very big question.
Yes, Maharaj.
And second thing is how we establish, because we have to quote the authority, establishing that eternity of our existence here in this. That's why the theory in ISKCON, they came out, we came from Krishna Loka because we made a mistake, we just lost our brain, we became envious of Krishna. All this nonsense talking is going on because they have no backing. There's no backing.
They voted it.
So we, yeah, it's because this is what they wanted to hear. And so the great Acharya comes, like Shankaracharya, he said, Nastik se asti, hai bhai Bhagwan hai, लेकिन उसका रूप नहीं है. So it's resonated with the Buddhists, those who are only interested to that there is no God. So according to time, place, and circumstances, the great Acharya who revolutionized the Krishna consciousness creates the possibility for people to join it. But nobody asked Bodhaki Prabhupada, what is the quotation in the scriptures? Everything is not supporting, but they just mesmerized by Prabhupada's. But in purport, if anybody reads 3:16:26, this purport, this question will be wiped out in one's confusion completely. So 3:16:26, I have given several times this quote. And regarding this beginningless, means since eternity we are conditioned soul, because we are part of Krishna's existence, we are Krishna's energy, correct? So eternal. So how, as you said, so Krishna himself establishes this. When Krishna says Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, correct? If somebody is very conditioned to know something, where is the beginning? So Krishna says, I am the beginning of everything, correct? Prabhava means Utpatti, beginning. And so if Krishna is the beginning of everything or anything, and Krishna himself is beginningless, that makes everything beginningless. So that can be used. But आपने जो कहा कि कोई जानता है, जानना तो बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है. मानता है केवल, मानता है कि ये गृहस्थाश्रम गृहमंडकूपम है, बट मुझे तो आकर्षित लगता है, इसलिए जानिया शून्या विषय खाई. So knowledge versus information. It's very nice to say, oh, we can quote Bhagavatam and give instructions and many things. But does it register in my own system? That is a big question. The question, yes.
इसमें मैं कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ, इसमें मैं पर्पट में पढ़ रहा हूँ, थोड़ा सा एक लाइन ही पढ़ूंगा कि 3:16:26 सारे डिवोटीज नोट कर सकते हैं. The conclusion is that no one falls from the
You are very fast reader. You are very fast reader, Srikant Prabhu.
No, I just got that line. Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport, the conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha planet, for it is the eternal abode. So we Vaikuntha Patanvad एक तरह का वाद है जो कि इन लोगों ने वोट करके, मतलब तो इससे इस परम पूज्य महाराज जी, गौर गोविंद महाराज जी बहुत हर्ट हुए थे कि वोटिंग करके हम कैसे सत्य को एस्टैब्लिश कर सकते हैं, मतलब कंडीशन सोल्स आर वोटिंग एंड दे आर एस्टैब्लिशिंग सत्य. दिस इज समथिंग रियली रिडिक्यूलस. And for example, I'm seeing in this Kali Yuga almost everyone is becoming a non-vegetarian. In this, I'm like shocked to see in just 5 years Bangalore has changed so much. Every single person is a non-vegetarian. So even if the entire creation becomes a non-vegetarian, that does not mean that non-vegetarianism will become not a sin anymore. So then I also could not quote Krishna's statement, but in Jaiv Dharma, and there is a wonderful literature by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji, Vaishnav Siddhant Mala. मैं उससे excerpts पोस्ट करता था भागवतम BI ग्रुप में. उसमें भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर जी ने बताया है कि there are 3 kinds of spiritons, जीवात्मा, नित्य मुक्ता, नित्य बद्धा and बद्ध मुक्ता. So Nitya Mukta are those who are eternally, they are having wonderful pastimes with Lord. Lord is having wonderful pastimes with them. Nitya Baddha are us, eternally conditioned. And Baddha Mukta are those जो condition थे, लेकिन अब वो भी परमहंस स्टेट लेवल पे आ गए हैं. तो in any case, there is nothing called as mukta baddha, जो पहले मुक्त थे लेकिन अब बद्ध हो गए हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. तो ये
wrong track हो जाएगी.
हाँ. Thank you Maharaj ji.
Just one comment regarding that. You gave beautiful answer about the living entity is small in size and material energy is vast for him. It can cover. Becomes over. We heard this in Bhagavatam, Shrama eva hi kevalam. So living entity, because it's conscious being, it wants to experience joy or something. So it's searching in the matter and becomes overwhelmed. No? किसी व्यक्ति के पास कैपेसिटी तो है और वो काम करते करते डूब जाता है काम में, तो he becomes overwhelmed. उसके पास में आता नहीं है because by nature he is not the primary enjoyer. You know, he becomes consumed, he becomes depleted, he becomes drained. भोगने जाता है, भोग्य हो जाता है. When I was growing up in Gujarat, because there is a restriction on drinking, so the billboard will say, दारूनेशु पीछे, दारूडियानी पी जैसा. इससे गुजराती, it's very simple. कि जो शराबी शराब को क्या पिएगा, शराबी शराबी को पी जाएगी. This is exactly what happens to a living entity. It is looking for fulfillment in the wrong place, in the wrong style. And that's why this very minute and becomes overwhelmed and cannot get proper channel. So his process of attaining fulfillment is a lost track. He's detracted or वो पटरी गाड़ी से निकल जाती है, क्या होता है detract?
Not remembering it. Detracting.
Yes. Yeah. So ultimately is part of Krishna's total existence, this conditioned souls. In Bhagavad Gita, very emphatically describe 15-16 sloka. Dvavimau purushav loke ksharas chakshara evacha. Ksharas sarvani bhutani kutastha akshara uchyate. So that purport and very nicely described by Prabhupada. There are two kinds of, since eternity, a condition, but they don't have to go until eternity. They can come out of it. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Baddha mukta. So, and since eternity, we have failed to come up to the perfection of human potential. Multiple times we have self-deprived, if you want to say, and that is fall down. So fall down is not a one-time affair. It has been multiple affairs every time, whether we were in Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapar, Kali Yuga. If we could not deliver ourselves, or couldn't get delivered, although we had the potential, that is fall down, correct? I have the potential to go all the way up, and if I somehow deprive myself or don't, that is fall down. So fall down this is a fall down realm, multiple fall down realm, not the absolute realm. Absolute realm se koi fall down hota, that means such a discredit, such a bad credit for the absolute realm. It will be no more absolute anymore. Divine. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for this nice discussion. Yeah, we have a question by Anita Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Maharaji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna to everyone. Maharaji, I'm just lighting up. Like I don't have any question. I'm just asking. When Prabhuji was explaining about this, Srikant Prabhuji was explaining the two questions. Today's questions: knowledge and soul. Like two souls. Why one soul is attracted to other soul? These two questions are related in what way? In the sense, like knowing about the edge. There is no edge, like there is no end to the Vedas or any knowledge if we want to know. And one more thing is like whenever we are knowing, whenever we are gaining something, same way like what Prabhuji was telling, like Tatastha Shakti, every Tatastha Shakti, like it's behind Maya Shakti is there. So always the devotional line, like whenever we are going, ultimately, like whenever we are gaining something knowledge and the Maya Shakti is pulling out. So same way when the soul is attracted to other soul, it's just like a Maya Shakti. For this, like to avoid this thing, we need to go to this chanting, love to Krishna, praying to Krishna, like chanting and serving. In this way, we can like avoid totally from the Maya Shakti. Only Lord Krishna can save us from Maya Shakti. So in this way,
oh, sorry, did I interrupt you?
Hare Krishna. This is what like I just want to share.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, when we say the soul is attracted to another soul, but to be attracted to someone, you must first of all see who that other one is. Have you ever seen a soul?
One person is attracted to someone.
Yeah,
every
but
time.
he's attracted.
Maybe girl or boy, male or female. Always not only male and female, not only female and female. Always we are attracted. But we have to get out from that. Like we need to have this Lord Krishna's grace. Like we have to serve him. We have to whatever the Prabhupada was saying. Like love Krishna, love to Lord. Serving only through this we can avoid all this Maya Shaktis.
Yeah, actually, even this.
Whatever you're saying, it was very good. Like when I'm hearing all this, even Maharaj was telling the same. But I didn't see any book or anything. But answers are coming only when you are discussing. Knowledge is edge. Knowing about something is still the edge. When Prabhuji was asking. So in social, one soul is attracted to other soul. So in that way, both are same correlated. That's what I was thinking. Hare
You
Krishna.
know,
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
a very
thank you,
nice observation. Sanatan Prabhu, can I get 2 more minutes to speak?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
See, the soul, we are actually attracted by the bodies and various potencies whichever are given to the soul. Because we have never seen the soul, we have never seen ourselves, and we have never seen other souls. We are attracted by these various potencies and the body and the features, body and opulences. But these bodily features, opulences, and everything, they are actually potencies of Krishna. So in a way, we are attracted to one aspect of Krishna, which is not Swarup of Krishna though. So soul और soul के बीच का जो attraction है, वो वास्तव में it is only for name's sake. The soul और soul के बीच का attraction will be relevant or can be called as justified only when one soul is giving Krishna to other soul. When Krishna is in the picture, then only we can say that there is a relation build up between two souls. Otherwise, this so-called attraction, I am attracted to this soul, is actually one way of satisfying one's own enjoyment spree. So he is so much obsessed with himself that he wants to experience the rasas for which only Krishna is entitled himself. So he is searching here and there, and I'll just speak one final line. The bottom line fact is that the attraction between one soul and another soul is possible if and only if Krishna is brought in picture.
So, can I add one line?
Please.
So that's why in our philosophy, when we say, oh, we are not this body, but bodily experience is the only thing we have, which we have been mesmerized since eternity. So what is the replacement? Replacement is that we are eternal body. So soul means our true identity. We have eternal body also waiting for us in the spiritual world. We must aspire for it. So one who perceives the spiritual master, in his Swarup, in his Nitya Rupa, as an associate of Krishna, from that point of view, you can become attracted to the spiritual master. Other than that, it's just bodily attraction only, as Srikant Prabhu said. So attraction of one soul to another soul only in one's spiritual form. That is the only thing worthwhile. And that's why the observation or the appraisal of spiritual master as an eternal associate of Krishna. That is the soul, because soul has eternal body, which we have yet to attain. We must aspire for it. Because bodily experience, we are so used to. So if philosophy would not suffice, oh, you are not this body, you are the spirit soul, but soul means eternal body. This concept has to be incorporated in our contemplation. Then we are not stuck with this perishable material, getting disease or old bodies, however palatable, attractive in the youth they may be. But we are aspiring to attain our eternal body. That is the soul's ultimate ascension, to attain the eternal body. In the spiritual world, every one of us has our eternal body waiting for us. So whatever bhava, whatever sentiment, whatever contemplation we develop regarding our association with Krishna in his pastimes and our seva, then when it becomes mature, then Krishna comes and takes us. Like as Srikant Prabhu said, the Yamraj comes when pious people leave this body. Yamadutas come when the impious, and the devotees, Vishnu Dutas come. But those who are perfected in this antaschintit deha, the eternal form contemplation, as Narottam Das Thakur describes in Prem Bhakti Chandrika, and all our Acharya Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then he attains Krishna, because then Krishna receives him. That's why for him the old age and disease and all this material situation, they become the impetus for him that he is moving closer to his destination, because that realm one will attain only after passing death. So death is becomes also a welcome signal, not worried and horrified or panicking. Oh, mera kya hoga? No, the best thing is yet to happen to all of us, and it will happen after death. So why to fear death in that regard? But we have to contemplate that we are on the way to attain our eternal Rupa, that is body. Although Swarup, we are all eternal servant of Krishna, but we haven't got the body conducive to perform that or establish in our Swarup eternally. So that should be the ultimate perfection of our human potential.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaji. And yes, Srikant Prabhuji, we can conclude for the day.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a beautiful discussion. I really got much more enrichment. So Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Jai.
जय जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय,
Jai.
पतित पावन श्रीपाद महाराज की जय,
Jai.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय जय।
Jai. His Grace Srikant Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you all for joining. See you all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.